On the edge of a vast, expanding glacier, a massive creature struggles for its final breath. It was once a king of the plains, a titan of muscle and fury, but the shifting climate has turned its own home into a tomb. As the snow falls, covering its stiffening limbs, a pair of eyes watches from the dark, frigid water of a nearby marsh. These eyes belong to a relic of a forgotten era, a silent observer that has seen empires rise and fall into the dust. This is a creature that does not fight the world, but instead waits for the world to break itself against its patience. The story of life on Earth is often told through the lens of those who conquered, but the true masters are those who endured. We look at the great predators of the past and wonder how they could ever vanish, yet we ignore the one that is still here, lurking in the shadows of our own timeline. Before we dive into the chilling secrets of the world's greatest survivor, I want to invite you to join our journey through the mysteries of the natural world. If you find yourself captivated by the shadows of history and the resilience of life, please consider hitting the subscribe button to stay with us as we uncover more. Now, let us step back into a time when the Earth turned cold and the giants began to fall. We often speak of the Ice Age as a chapter of history that has long since been closed and shelved. We imagine a prehistoric landscape of woolly mammoths and saber-toothed cats, a world that exists only in textbooks and museum halls. However, the reality is far more haunting, as we are technically still living in that very same era. Geologically speaking, an ice age is defined by the presence of permanent ice sheets at the poles, and as long as Antarctica and Greenland remain frozen, the era continues. This long, cold cycle began roughly 34 million years ago when Antarctica drifted toward the southern pole and became encased in ice. This single geographic shift triggered a global cooling cascade that has dictated the rhythm of life on Earth ever since. Within this massive span of 34 million years, there have been moments of truly terrifying intensity. The most recent of these was the last glacial maximum, which occurred approximately 30,000 years ago. During this time, the world as we know it was unrecognizable, with massive ice sheets stretching across entire continents and sea levels dropping as water was locked away in frozen fortresses. These cycles of freezing and thawing have been the ultimate test for every living thing, a brutal filter that separates the lucky from the truly prepared. For many, the cooling world was a death sentence, but for one group, it was simply another challenge to be overcome. Before the world grew cold, reptiles were the undisputed rulers of the planet's energy-rich ecosystems. In the sweltering heat of the past, their cold-blooded biology was an incredible advantage, allowing them to grow to sizes that seem impossible today. They moved with a speed and ferocity fueled by a sun that never seemed to fade, dominating every niche from the deep oceans to the high canopies. But as the global thermostat was turned down, the very biology that had made them kings became their greatest liability. When the warmth vanished, so did the energy required to sustain such massive frames, leading to a slow and agonizing decline for the world's great reptiles. Large terrestrial reptiles found themselves trapped in a world that no longer had room for them. Without the external heat needed to power their bodies, they became sluggish, vulnerable, and unable to hunt the faster, warm-blooded mammals that were beginning to thrive. Food sources dwindled, and the lush, tropical forests they called home began to shrink into isolated pockets. It was a systematic collapse, a biological eviction from a planet that had once belonged to them. Yet amidst this widespread extinction, the crocodilians stood their ground, refusing to follow their cousins into the dark. The resilience of the crocodilian lineage is not a matter of luck, but a masterclass in evolutionary design. They had already faced the ultimate catastrophe during the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event, roughly 66 million years ago. That event, which famously wiped out the non-avian dinosaurs, served as a trial by fire that prepared them for the coming trial by ice. Their success across multiple mass extinctions suggests that they possess a deep, fundamental advantage that other animals simply do not. They are the ultimate pragmatists of the animal kingdom, built to survive the worst the universe can throw at them. One of the most significant secrets to their survival lies in their choice of habitat. By living a semi-aquatic life, crocodilians positioned themselves in a thermal refuge that buffered them against the chaotic shifts of the atmosphere. Water is a stubborn element. It heats up slowly and cools down even slower, providing a stable environment when the air temperature fluctuates wildly. While land-dwelling animals were being blasted by freezing winds and sudden cold snaps, the crocodilians remained submerged in a medium that held onto its warmth. This simple physical property of water provided them with a shield that many of their contemporaries lacked. In the harsh reality of an unstable world, being a specialist is a dangerous gamble. Many predators of the Ice Age were finely tuned machines designed to hunt specific types of prey, and when that prey vanished, the predators followed. Crocodilians, however, are the ultimate opportunists, possessing a diet that is as flexible as it is predatory. They do not care if their meal is a fish, a bird, a mammal, or even carrion that has been dead for days. This generalist strategy allowed them to pivot as ecosystems collapsed and reformed, ensuring that they could find calories even in a world that seemed empty. Physically, the crocodilian is a fortress of biological engineering. Their skin is reinforced with osteoderms, bony plates that act as a natural suit of armor against rivals and environmental hazards alike. Their bite force is legendary, capable of crushing bone and shell with a pressure that few things in nature can withstand. Then there is the death roll, a brutal and efficient maneuver that allows them to dismember prey that would be too large for other predators to handle. These are not just hunting tools. They are survival mechanisms that make the crocodilian an extremely difficult target for any would-be attacker. Geography also played a silent but vital role in their ongoing legacy. Crocodilians have always been primarily inhabitants of the tropics and subtropics, regions of the Earth that acted as a sanctuary during the worst of the glacial periods. While the ice sheets were grinding down everything in the north and south, the equatorial belt remained relatively habitable. Their range certainly shrank as the world cooled, but they avoided the total annihilation faced by species that could not retreat. They were smart enough, in an evolutionary sense, to stay where the world was still kind enough to let them breathe. However, even when the cold reached their doorstep, some species showed a remarkable ability to adapt. Through a process known as brumation, which is the reptilian equivalent of hibernation, they can survive temperatures that would kill almost any other cold-blooded animal. They slow their heart rates, stop eating, and enter a state of suspended animation to conserve every ounce of energy. In some incredible instances, alligators have been seen frozen in ponds with only their snouts poking through the ice. They use their nostrils as breathing tubes, waiting for the thaw with a patience that borders on the supernatural. The most terrifyingly efficient part of the crocodilian's design is its metabolism. These animals are masters of the slow burn, capable of surviving for months or even a full year without a single meal. When they do catch a kill, they extract every possible nutrient from it, storing the excess energy as fat in their tails and bodies. This ability to exist on the edge of starvation is a profound advantage in a world where food is scarce and unpredictable. While warm-blooded mammals must hunt constantly to keep their internal fires burning, the crocodilian can simply wait for the world to come to them.
This eye has seen the Ice Age, seen the asteroid aftermath, seen empires of animals rise and collapse.
Their hunting strategy is a reflection of this energy-saving philosophy. They are ambush predators of the highest order, spending hours or days motionless in the water, looking like nothing more than a floating log. They do not waste energy on long, exhausting chases or complex social hierarchies. Instead, they wait for an unsuspecting animal to come to the water's edge to drink, and then they strike with a sudden, explosive violence. This low-energy, high-reward lifestyle is perfectly suited for the demanding environments of the Ice Age, where every calorie spent is a risk taken. Beyond their external strength, crocodilians possess internal systems that are nothing short of miraculous. They have an incredible tolerance for low oxygen levels, allowing them to remain submerged for long periods to hide or wait for prey. Their immune systems are among the most powerful in the known world, containing proteins that can kill bacteria and viruses that would be lethal to humans. They can suffer horrific injuries in territorial battles and heal in stagnant, bacteria-filled water without ever developing an infection. This biological superiority makes them nearly indestructible in a world where a single scratch can often lead to death. When we look at the crocodilian, we are looking at evolution's overpowered design. They are not the product of a single lucky trait, but a perfect harmony of behavioral, physiological, and environmental advantages. They are the result of millions of years of refinement, a design so effective that it has barely changed since the time of the dinosaurs. They do not need to evolve further because they have already solved the puzzle of survival. They are the heavyweights of the natural world, standing as a testament to the power of being adaptable and efficient. The legacy of these survivors offers a profound lesson for us all. While countless other species, many of them faster, stronger, or more intelligent, vanished into the fog of the past, the crocodilian remained. Their story tells us that survival is not always about being the most aggressive or the most dominant. It is about the ability to endure. It is about knowing when to strike and when to wait, when to fight and when to hide. In a world that is constantly changing, the only constant is the need for flexibility and the wisdom to conserve one's strength for the moments that truly matter. As we look at the modern world, we might see ourselves as the masters of the earth, much like the great reptiles once did. But the story of the Ice Age reminds us that the environment is a fickle master, and what is a paradise today can become a wasteland tomorrow. The crocodilian's success teaches us that the secret to lasting power is not in controlling the world, but in mastering ourselves within it. We must learn to be generalists, to be resilient, and to possess the patience to weather the storms that will inevitably come our way. How would you react if the world as you knew it suddenly shifted into a state of permanent winter? Would you be the one to fight against the elements, or would you find a way to wait out the storm? The crocodilian has survived the impact of asteroids and the crushing weight of glaciers by simply being too stubborn to die. It is a chilling thought that as we walk the earth today, we are being watched by a creature that has seen it all before. What secrets do you think they are still keeping from us, hidden beneath the surface of the water? If this journey into the deep history of survival has sparked your curiosity, I invite you once more to subscribe and join our community. There are so many more stories hidden in the folds of time, waiting to be told. The natural world is a brutal, beautiful place, and understanding it is the first step in understanding our own place within it. Thank you for walking through the ice with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next chapter of our story.